It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview a professional softball player, Morgan Howe. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional softball?
Yeah, it kind of sounds funny, but I actually didn't know that I wanted to play professional softball. I didn't really know professional softball was a thing. I wasn't a huge softball fan when I was growing up. I didn't watch a lot of softball, surprisingly enough. Dad and I watched a lot of baseball. So when, the College World Series was on for softball, I would always watch that. But otherwise, didn't really watch much softball. So for me, didn't know professional softball was a thing. Just wanted to play in college. And then it wasn't until like my senior year of college that I think I figured out that there was a league. And I love softball. So from then on, like as soon as I found out about it, I was like, yeah, pretty sure I want to keep playing. So that's really how that went.
Can you talk about your collegiate experience? I saw that you went to 2 colleges to play softball.
Yeah, so I went to Fresno State first. I was there my freshman and my sophomore year. Basically, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of softball, so just wanted to play in college. I didn't really care where I went. I didn't do a lot of research in terms of what the power conferences were, where the power schools were. I didn't really understand. I didn't know the format of college softball. The preseason, the regular season, and then you have regional, super regionals, the College World Series. I didn't know the whole format, so I didn't really care where I went. I just wanted to play softball. So I got the opportunity to play at Fresno State, and Coach Trisha Ford actually recruited me to play there. And she was my coach for a year, my freshman year, and then she left to go coach at Arizona State. I stayed one more year at Fresno State and kind of got a feel for the new coaching staff. Didn't really work out. So then I decided to transfer and follow Coach Ford to ASU for my junior and senior year.
What did you accomplish at ASU?
I like to think I accomplished a lot of things. Well, my junior year, we went to the College World Series. So that was really fun. We got to host a regional and we got to host a super regional. And that was like my first taste of Pac-12 softball, just from that season alone and just playing with Arizona State. And then my senior year, we had a great year. It was a tough year. We didn't have as big of a pitching staff as we wanted. We did a lot of damage with our offense, but I think that if we would have had just a little bit stronger of a presence in the pitcher category, like if we had a couple more pitchers, I think we would have been fine. If we just had a bigger staff, our pitchers did what they could, but I mean, when you pitch so many innings and you pitch so many games and there's so much film on you, I mean, like it's hard to keep getting by, you know what I mean? But otherwise, I think I accomplished a lot. I had never had a taste of running that deep in a postseason before. I had never seen that consistent high-level softball throughout an entire season, as I did like at Fresno State. So I would just say the experience in itself was, something to accomplish being at Arizona State.
What was it like playing in the College World Series?
Unreal. I mean, at Arizona State, you play a lot of games at home. We have really great weather. It's sunny all the time. You have all of our fans came out all the time. It was great. But then you get to Oklahoma City and you have thousands of people coming out to watch softball in general. I mean, whether they were for us or not for us, it was just cool to be surrounded by a bunch of softball fans and a bunch of people that loved the sport of softball and just loved watching it and cheering on whatever team is playing. So it was unreal. I mean, the whole experience through and through, I mean, from the locker room to the dugouts to what the field felt like, and even the field itself, like the grass, the dirt, like everything was just so nice. Seeing it that many people in the stands was just an incredible feeling. I wish our time there was a little bit longer and wasn't, 2 games and out, but it was definitely what you play for. You mean, I never watched softball again, so I didn't really know that experience until you get there, and definitely something I'll always remember and hold close to my heart.
What was the transition like from you from playing college softball to making it now into the professional softball?
Um, it was easier than I thought. I think I overhyped it a little bit because, now you're not just playing with, the best, you're not seeing like the best conferences ever. You're seeing all of the best conferences in just one team, or like around yourself, if that makes sense. So, you're seeing the best of the best. So, I definitely, I was nervous, and I was, kind of like that little rookie, like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here, but it was different for me just because I didn't get drafted right out of college. So I had almost like a year and a half of like not playing at all. And then I got, thrown right into the fire with Athletes Unlimited. And I think I kind of shocked myself. I didn't think, honestly, I'll say I didn't expect to do as well as I did. But what I thought was really cool was everyone was so willing to help everyone. So, there's these really big names, just people that I never even got to play against or with just because of our age differences. But just being able to learn from them. I don't want to say that I went in, I was thinking that everything was going to be like, you're trying to beat everyone out. It's all competition. But a big part of me definitely wasn't thinking it was going to be as open of a space to like learn and absorb and just talk softball and learn from each other and share knowledge and share opinions and talk processes and things like that. So, the transition was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Obviously the game just gets faster the higher and higher you get. So, but when you're surrounded by all these people and all these amazing athletes and all these just really gifted human beings, it's not hard to, get in there and get comfortable, if that makes sense.
What was it like whenever you signed your first professional contract with the National Pro Fast Pitch?
That was really exciting. That for me was actually really, I don't want to say emotional, but it definitely tugged the heartstrings a little bit because, like I said, I didn't get drafted out of college, and there was a really long time that I figured like, wow, like it's really over. So I will never play softball again. My last time in a uniform and ever stepping foot on a field was my career ending at Alabama in that regional my senior year. So it was hard. It was, me signing was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, okay, it's not over. We're still going. And I was only, I think I was only 22. So, it's really unfortunate because, you see all these male athletes and their careers go on and on and on until sometimes they're like 40 years old. And for us females, there's just such a lack of professional opportunity, and you peak not even in college. Like, your peaking years are well after college, and we don't even have the chance to show that. So, because there's just no opportunity. So, for me, I just felt like I had so much more to give. And so to be able to have the opportunity to give it and, actually compete still, it was definitely an emotional day, emotional feeling. Happy, of course, but really just really grateful and just really, I was definitely trying to soak it in more than I probably would have if I would have gotten drafted out of college, so.
What was it like playing for Athlete Unlimited?
Unreal. Not just from a softball perspective, but just being surrounded by good human beings as well. I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from Athletes Unlimited is the people that I got to know and the levels that I got to know them on. So, I mean, as I mentioned, because I didn't actually I haven't gotten to play with the MPF yet. I signed a contract with Commotion, but that summer they canceled their season due to COVID. And then this summer our season got canceled again due to COVID. So I still have yet to play in the National Pro Fast Pitch League, but Athletes Unlimited was like my true introduction to professional softball. So just in terms of the softball, I mean, I've never played in such high level softball before. That was fun. That was why, like, that's the reason why I play. I mean, that right there is why I wake up every day and I continue to keep at it. But like I said, the part that I probably took away the most from Athletes Unlimited was just getting to know such great people. I mean, you were kind of in a bubble the whole time for 6 weeks with these people I don't even know. I mean, I knew a handful of them from, growing up and in passing and from college, but I didn't know a good percentage of people. So, being able to be vulnerable and be personal with these other females, it was just unreal. I mean, I felt like I grew as a human being, and I felt like I was touched by a lot of people. Just on a personal level, I felt like people that you just met are all of a sudden caring about you, and it was I can't really put into words that experience with Athletes Unlimited. I mean, it was a lot just being brand new to everything, but then also for everyone to be so kind and so nice and just normal human beings, and just be so willing to share their knowledge and talk the game with me and help me out. All of it was unreal. I mean, all of it. There's not one part of it that I was like, oh, that could have been better. Like it was perfect.
As you prepare for the national fast pitch, what do you prepare for whenever you get to play in the national fast pitch? As you said, that their league got canceled due to COVID.
Honestly, I think that in terms of preparing for that league versus Athletes Unlimited, it's all the same. I mean, you just keep hitting every day, keep working out and trying to stay in shape. Get your outfield reps where you can get your outfield reps and, keep your arm moving in a circle. You know what I mean? But otherwise, I mean, that's where the lack of opportunity is. I mean, in an ideal setting, you practice with your team, you're constantly with your team, you're working out with your team. But just because there's not enough money in the league and in professional softball in general, I mean, you kind of got to do all that on your own. You don't really have the means to put everyone up in, like I don't know, like the MLB like training, like spring training centers and things like that. Like we don't have anything like that, so it's all kind of on your own. So I mean, it's kind of up to you. How much do you like? How successful do you want to be when the season does come? But we just don't have those means, and everyone that's out of school at least is also working another job to sustain themselves. And so I mean, it's you kind of prepare how you want your season to go and how you want your time to be, and it's kind of on you. But how I personally prepare, I mean, like I said, I try to hit where I can and get my outfield reps where I can and throw when I can. A lot of it's just lifting and conditioning right now. So that's how I'm preparing right now.
Can you talk about, of course, the challenges you face as being professional athletes, but not getting the pay as professional athletes, where you have to get second jobs?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of put off adulting and I went back to school. So I actually just graduated with my master's, and that kind of kept me busy. I'm really thankful that my parents can help me out in that aspect, and allow me to like go back to school, and I kind of live with them whenever I come home. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. There's athletes that continue to play professionally and do work a second job, and it's a normal job. Like, it's not, sometimes some of them don't even have any relevance to softball. So to do that and to find time to train on your own, because we don't have team practices, we don't have people putting us through workouts, we don't have people putting us through practices. It's tough. I mean, but it's also, you know, how bad do you love the game and how bad do you want to keep playing? So, I mean, thankful for the opportunity, and you're going to keep yourself in a position to keep playing, if that makes sense, depending on how much you love it. But it's tough. It's not easy. And I give a lot of credit to those who have been adulting and, you know, being normal human beings that also find time to train and get themselves ready. Because I mean, like I said, I went back to school, so I've been in school still for the last 2 years. So for me, it hasn't really been much of a change in terms of like when I was playing in college. I mean, wake up, work out, go to school, practice when you can. Well, in college it was practice every day, but for me right now it's practice when you can. So I mean, I just give a lot of credit to those who are working normal jobs. Otherwise it's tough. And I do know a lot of athletes who are just dedicated to softball and still live with their parents and don't work another job. And even then, I mean, that's difficult. I mean, you're in your mid upper 20s and living with your parents still, you know, just in terms of a social life, like the things that people give up to keep playing this game is unreal. So it's just tough that the professional setting for softball doesn't allow for, you know, a sustainable way of living just through the sport. But
As you look forward and like, let's say 5 years, do you see that the professional softball will become like the MLB where you can have just that as your income and not be a teacher or stuff like that?
yeah, honestly, I mean, everything's a business and everything just takes money. I mean, we have the fan base, we have the people behind the sport. There's so many people that love the sport. There's just nobody to invest in it. So in 5 years, if we get the right people to invest in the sport, I definitely think that that is absolutely something that can happen. I think that athletes can live off of just being professional softball players. But like I said, it's going to take the right amount of money. And it just sucks because for whatever reason, nobody wants to invest in it. Not sure what's keeping them from that, but I also think the things that Athletes Unlimited is doing for, you know, women's professional sports, because it's not like Athletes Unlimited is not just softball, it's also women's volleyball and also women's lacrosse. They just finished their volleyball season and they're about to start their lacrosse season, but you know, the sponsors that they're getting for this league, and then also like the national broadcasting that they're getting for these leagues. I mean, it's hard for me to think that someone won't invest in us within the next 5 years. So, I mean, I'm hoping, but I definitely think that it's something that's possible, but it's just money, obviously.
What are some of your future plans as a professional softball player?
I'm not sure. I hope to keep playing. I hope to keep playing as long as I can. Find my opportunities where I can and run with them while I can. Otherwise, everything's kind of never certain and everything's always up in the air. It kind of sucks. I don't have a stable plan or anything like that. I did just graduate, so as of right now, I have a pretty full summer. I'm going to run with that and I'm going to enjoy that and then go to Athletes Unlimited in the fall. And then after that, I mean, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I find a job because this is where I will transition into kind of adulting and starting to live on my own and not go back to school. So, but in terms of professional softball, I mean, I hope that within the next few years I'm still playing. So.
What are some of your game day rituals that you have playing softball?
Oh Oh man. Okay, so game day rituals. I'm a very superstitious person. So um my breakfast on game days, always a sausage biscuit and a hash brown from McDonald's and a Diet Coke. It's just a secret to greatness. You can't fight it. And so that's what I have for breakfast. I have a very certain way of doing my hair, getting like ready, putting my uniform on. Everything's always left to right. So I'll put my compression like leggings on. I'll go left sock, right sock. If we have stirrups, left stirrup, right stirrup, pants, sleeves, BP top jersey, whichever it is. And then obviously left shoe, right shoe. Uh, Otherwise, I mean, I have my own, like, when I get in the box, I have like my whole routine. So I'm very superstitious. If it works, don't change it, and don't fight it. So those are just a few. There's a bunch of little other things that I do, but won't get into that.
As you walk up, what is your favorite walk-up song?
Oh man, I've had a lot. I think I'm going to regret saying this one because my dad's going to think that I'm going to need to do it from here on out for the rest of my career. But my senior year, we got 2 walk-up songs. My second one, I surprised him and chose a song that he's been telling me to do for my whole entire career. But it was Tom Sawyer by Rush. And I mean, I won't even lie, like I felt really good walking up to the plate, like hearing that song in the background, but we won't tell him that.
What advice would you give upcoming future professional softball players?
I would just say don't give up. If you want it that bad, the opportunity will arise. I mean, I waited a year and a half to get my opportunity, and if you love the game that much, I mean, the game always knows. So just don't give up on it. I mean, it is slim, but if you love it enough, you'll put forth, that time, that effort, and that energy, and the game will pay you back for it. So that's super simple, but I mean, just don't give up on that dream.
What advice would you give college softball players looking to play professional?
Same thing, but I also think enjoy where you're at right now. In my mind, despite the fact that there's a professional setting, I think the most, I don't want to say competitive, but I think the most passion-filled experience you'll have is college. Just because the professional setting is always changing. So it's hard to get passionate, and it's hard to have that sense of like fire when you're playing. I mean, when you have a college across your chest and you're representing something way bigger than yourself, so that's something that's like been established for decades on decades. I mean, and you have all this history and this culture. I think that that's something to not take advantage of or to overlook. I think after you graduate, again, like I said, the professional setting is just not the same. There's just not the same kind of culture, just because it's constantly changing. So I would say for those that are in college now and wanting to play professionally, obviously don't give up on the dream, get after it, but don't take advantage of the time that you are in college and the time that you do have there representing your university.
That's amazing advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
I'm on Instagram. I am on Twitter. And I'm on TikTok. I don't really know how that works. I feel so old whenever I get on that app because I have no idea what I'm doing. But all of my handles are generally the same. I think my Instagram is at Morgan Riley with 2 N's. And then my Twitter is at Morgan Riley with 3 N's. I think my TikTok is the same as my Instagram. So
Thank you again, Morgan, for your interview, and best of luck in your future wherever it may hold you in professional softball.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Morgan, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thanks so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.